What's up, Dragon Brood? Today, we're kind of just going with the flow of traffic. We're just going to be a lemming, as they say, but this is definitely a deck that I think people have really kind of latched onto here lately. So you probably started seeing some of it in the ladder, and I figured, why not? Let's go ahead and give it a play. So we're going to be looking at what we're going to call Orzhov Midrange, but it's kind of controlling, but it's more of a mid-range deck. And honestly, this is one of those decks that, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was CGB that came up with the first popular version of this, and then a few people have kind of taken it some different directions. But regardless, the majority of the cards are going to be the same. I think this is something that you're starting to see a bit more of, and the deck actually is pretty good. So if you have all the cards, this may be one you want to play if you like this style of deck or like playing these colors. I think it's totally reasonable. So let's go take a look at what the hype is all about around this Orzhov midrange deck. Now, I will say that my list is honestly very similar to all of the others you've probably seen. Maybe plus or minus a couple of lands swapped. I think maybe I'm playing a Professor Onyx in my list where some of the others aren't. But otherwise, it's going to look like almost all the other lists that you've seen. And so there's not a lot to go over here. I will cover some of the things for those of you that haven't seen this already, but I think several of you will have seen it. Also, if you look at this list, it's another list that's very tight. We're not playing a lot of like ones and twos of things. For the most part, we're playing threes or fours. So it's trying to do what it's doing as consistently as possible. But we've got two eye twitch. We do have a learn board here as well, so we'll go over that quickly because it does matter for this list. 4 Shambling Ghast, because this card's one of the best commons out of Forgotten Realms. I would not be surprised if we see this played through standard till it rotates next fall. Professor of Symbology, again, more stuff to just go fuel that learn board. Deadly Disputes, because we can get, really, honestly, there's a few tricks actually we can ramp into. But getting the cards is nice, especially when you have stuff like Shambling Ghast or whatever, or Eye Twitch, that you can just force to go get 3 cards effectively when you sacrifice it in a treasure, or get multiple treasure if you want to do that. Vanishing Verse, kind of the best removal card we've got available to us in this deck, and it removes the majority of things you want to get rid of. Occasionally there'll be something like Galazeth Prismari you can't get rid of, some things like that. But generally speaking, you can get rid of most of the major threats, and it gets rid of a big chunk of the class cards that people are playing as well. So something else to think about. Then we have 4 Elite Spellbinders. This card's just amazingly good. 4 Skullport Merchant. So if you don't play this card, this is another way you can sacrifice, say, like your Eye Twitch or your Gas to get that extra benefit, and you get a card. You also have a few ways to generate treasure, so you can sacrifice a treasure and get cards late. So it's a good blocker as well as being a way to both generate treasure and cards. And then we have 3 Kaya the Inexorable. I feel like we're always trying to find a spot to play Kaya, and this is one where it makes the most sense, where it's more of a cleanup card than anything. But we have cards in here that, if you are able to reuse them per her first ability, they're really good. Getting to reuse a Professor of Symbology so you can get something else out of your sideboard. If you want to replay a Spellbinder so you have another 3-power attacker again. The Merchant comes back into play and makes a treasure. So these are all very good cards to get to replay. So I think it fits perfectly in here. Then we have 4 Blood on the Snow, because if we can just keep sweeping the board and keep getting stuff back, then great. Then a Professor Onyx, just kind of one of our cleanup cards here to be able to just, really, we have enough spells, not a ton, but we have enough that her Magecraft ability does matter. But even just being able to search for, say, like find another Kaya to close things out, or a creature land, or whatever, is a pretty big deal. And it doubles as removal, so she's going to do a lot for us in the later stages of the game. As far as the lands, we're not doing anything too fancy here. We've got 7 each of snow-covered plains and swamps. We have 4 Bright Climb Pathway, 4 Snowfield Sinkhole, 4 Faceless Havens. I generally don't like the tapped snowlands, but really in this type of deck, you have plenty of time. You're really planning to use this mana on like turn 6, turn 7. So you don't really care that it comes into play tap for the most part. We don't have that much aggressive stuff early, we just have to have. As for the sideboard, we went a little bit different here with just 2 environmental sciences, so instead of 1. So this is going to let you find the mana you need, because we are kind of mana hungry in this list. We are also playing 2 mascot exhibitions because we are mana hungry. We get to a high mana count. It is nice to be able to go and get these. It's possible we could want to play a third one of these. I'm not really sure. Pest summoning just gives us some more outs late in the game if we want chump blockers or whatnot. Intro to introduction if there's just a problematic card we want to get rid of. And then confront the past. This is one of the times I do want this in my sideboard because we can actually use it to get back one of our big planeswalkers. So big fan of this card here as well. So like I said, maybe a third mascot exhibition might be the only thing I'd want to do differently, but I actually kind of like this otherwise. As always, you know the drill. Watch the games, get to the end of the games. We do a recap, let you know what we replace in this deck or maybe possible options of what to replace cards with. And then we have a card spotlight for you to just fill you in on something in the history of Magic. I guess we keep it. What are the odds we'll draw a white land next turn? Because I have no idea. Though now that I got my stream deck, I'm going to try to work in some sound effects on a little soundboard while I'm playing, and I'll have some different stuff going on. I just need time to mess with it. Oh, yeah. Well, there should have been snow lands in here, obviously. Like, that's just a thing. Same thing with Blood on the Snow. It just didn't put the right lands in here. I'll just play without it. It'll be fine. I'm just going to cast Blood on the Snow straight up. And then I'm going to get something back because I'll get 2 Faceless Havens. That's all that's going to happen. Opponent just doesn't know what they're in for yet. Look at that 1/4 just go to town blocking. How cool was that? What do we do here? I guess we just Deadly Dispute and just get mana so we can actually cast that Blood on the Snow next turn. I think is the plan. And we'll do this just in case we get to 1. I'm just going to sack this because it's going to die anyway. I'll take a hit one time. Ooh, this is a question. I guess I'll at least do this. And then pass? Yeah, that's fine. Oh, son of a gun. Are you kidding me? Well, you got to take the Blood on the Snow, opponent. Nothing else makes sense. Like, you don't take the Blood on the Snow. It's just silly. How scared is the opponent that they only attacked for 3 there? That's embarrassing. Like, if I'm in their shoes, that is legitly embarrassing. I would be sad if I were them. Okay, so this is a little weird because now I have to get to 8 mana, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need this in tap, but then I can't really cast anything. So I'm actually going to go with... I could do this and still cast something for 3. That's relevant. Alright, we're just going to do this. Oh my gosh. Well, okay. Sure. I mean, I just really wanted the Snowland in just so we could get something back, but we'll just get back a Geist, I guess, or Shambling Ghast. Alright. I mean, they know they're about to lose everything. I mean, it's gonna die anyway. Like, he'll just get some extra love in there. Destroy all creatures. We'll get back this tutor. Create a treasure. Get a 3/3 body. I think I am going to spend that treasure to go ahead and play this. Alright, Spellbinder. Well, you know my hand. Well, they don't know. Now they do. We will go ahead and play this. And we will get Mascot Exhibition, I believe, is what we want. Let's put this in tapped. And yeah, I'm willing to attack with this. What are you going to do about it? I mean, you block, we just kill something, so whatever. See, they should have saved the aspirant to wait for whatever our mascot exhibition. It's probably what I would have done if I were them. Seems like that would have been smarter. Feel free to block. Doesn't change anything for me. Yep. Let's see. Redain. Alright, so let's actually play this on white. We'll attack with this, and this. Because why not? Leave the opponent without any good blocks. Hey, Absurd Heroine, how's it going? Game on a good night. We're playing some different standard 2022 stuff and giving away some pre-release codes from Forgotten Realms. So there may be another round there in about 30 minutes. Okay, opponent makes all their blocks. We agree with all those things. Give a minus to this one. Resolve that. End the turn. Alright. Angels make a big difference. Cold Spell Cleric makes sense. Do they? Oh, they didn't have any other angels to go get? That's weird. Okay. Sure. Well, that's nice. We don't mind that too much, do we? Attack with this. Okay. And we'll take 2. Why not? Our 2 is better as an attacker than a blocker here. Oh, well, this is really good as a removal. So, I'm in.
I won't stand by as innocent people are stupid.
Ha! Look at that. Slow. I'd like to have an untapped, like a swamp here. Would be great. Because then we could turn 1 swamp. We could block, use this, probably still kill something small, or make a treasure, ramp up to doing some other big things the following turn. That's a lot to ask, though, but we'll see. Did not happen, so we'll just put this in tapped. Alright. I guess whatever we play is just going to be set up to die. Reasonable enough. Been seeing a lot of control decks the last at least 2 days on the ladder. Like, it's been a bunch of them. Like, I actually had games I couldn't use for the last 2 days worth of videos because they were all insanely long. They were like multiple 15 to 30-minute games that, like, that's basically half a video or whatever, you know, when I put up. So I couldn't do that. I mean, I could, but it just didn't feel smart. All right, well, we're going to get in there and attack, I guess. Seen a lot of 70-plus card libraries. I've only run into that a couple of times. All right, let's see if you want to counter this, opponent. They say no. They're going to let it ride. Okay. Well, we already have 4, 5 mana. Technically 6 when the Shambler dies, 7 when this dies. So do we just get Mascot Exhibition now? And camp on it for later? I guess so. I think that's what we're going to do. Okay. So they didn't have a counter. I guess I could have got away with my Spellbinder. So sad. Who knew? Well, I know we just rated by may the shuffler not be fine. It may you never not have. Fair enough. Yeah, the other thing too is, like, I like the idea of the opponent knowing we have Mascot Exhibition, because then they're kind of like never really wanting to use up a counter. And if they do, we kind of get to know they have a backup one. You know what I mean? I don't want to attack with Faceless Haven yet. I would like to wait until next turn, where we can leave up Deadly Dispute, so if they do target it, we could get something for it. Let's attack with these, though. See what the opponent's up to. Alright, this should cause some type of reaction. Hopefully they just have, like, the -3/-3 thing, or maybe a Shadow's Verdict that we can make them get rid of. They do have a Shadow's Verdict. Look at that. Though they do have Juar's Disruption and Power Word Kill. Super annoying. But they can't just play Emerith here. Though we could get rid of it, possibly. Okay. We'll at least force their hand, depending on what they draw. Okay. You kill my duder. Makes sense. Okay, so we know basically their hand at this point. Okay, we don't know what that is. Oh, no, we do know what that is. That's the take extra turns. All right. So what do we do here? Knowing you now can't Soul Shatter. All right. This was kind of part of the plan anyway. I mean, if you have it, you have it. I mean, it can't be a power word kill because this is all creature types. What you gonna try to do to us here? Nothing? Okay. End the turn. So they don't have a counter right now. Unless they literally just drew it. Yeah, because we know what that is, and we know what the other card is. So the question now becomes, let's see, 1, 2, 3. We'd still have the 4, the 6 it would take to get that out of the way. We put the opponent at 6. And then they'd be taking an extra turn plus whatever stuff is there we don't know about. They're probably trying to hold the Shadow's Verdict now against our Mascot Exhibition. So we sort of have to keep that in mind. And I guess we don't really need to use that yet. So, yeah, we're not. Much as I would like the cards, don't think that's totally necessary. Alright, so only benefit would be if we Blood on the Snow with this. We would be able to take whatever these cards are, but it doesn't really do much knowing that they're going to make birds off the other thing. So let's do this. Yep. And we'll just pay the extra. Okay. Yep, we knew that was coming. No surprise. So now I might actually attempt to Blood on the Snow. And then just get back our Spellbinder. And then just test the waters. I mean, though, they would still have this to get rid of the Spellbinder, so that's kind of a little bit annoying, I guess. It's not great. Okay, they didn't attack, so they don't have anything too special going on. Okay, so what do? We have 7 mana. They know we have 7 mana. And they know we have Mascot Exhibition. We know they have Shadow's Verdict waiting and a Soul Shatter, but we don't know what else. We're not really benefited by attacking with everything here either, because the opponent can basically just block, kill our 2 actual creatures, and then they could Soul Shatter to get our land. So we don't like that either. I kind of like this to be able to get rid of more Emirates, but now that we have this, I don't feel so bad. So I'm going to go ahead and do this and see what the opponent's got. See, I thought about that too. I could get another Mascot Exhibition. So, like, that's actually a real play. But I would also need this to go off. What I actually you know what? I think I want to take the treasure here before I do anything else. And just let's see if the opponent double blocks. Because I think I want the information for what's in their hand. Alright. So they don't have anything else. I don't think. They might have a counter. But if it's just a counter, I don't know how much I care. I guess it didn't really matter which one. Do we have a counter? They don't have a counter. Huh. Well, okay then. I was kind of curious what they could do there. All right. Well, now if they try to do something, we do have a Vanishing Verse still up, so we'll see what happens. Oh, they're just going to Power Word Kill. That's the least of our concerns. So I guess the plan here is Exhibition, they play Shadow's Verdict, we Exhibition, and then hope they don't have another. Oh, they topped both? Oh, no. That's never good. It was a land, and if one could be a counter, and that would make sense too, because then they would have 2 answers to the Exhibition. All right, here comes the first counter, right? See, told you, knew it. Sometimes you just know things. So what I think I'm going to do, we'll have to target that another time. Yep, we'll takes it. Wait, they left themselves mana down? So we can attack for 4 here? I feel like this is a setup. What card am I forgetting about? Apparently nothing. Okay, and that still leaves us 2, 3, 4, 5 if I want to just target that. Okay. Well, now they'll have 3 mana up, so that's going to make that plan no good. Okay. We'll target that. Pay the bonus mana. I mean, because if they counter it, they're dead. Like, we just get to attack for 4, so whatever. They can't disruption because we have mana for... I mean, I guess they could disrupt twice, but then they still lose. Yeah, like, there's no version of them countering that was going to allow them to live. What do I want to do here? I want to cast these disputes, but... You know, okay, actually, let's just do this now. Because if we're able to get creatures, I would like to get creatures I could play with. And they're not going to counter again, because they would just be in trouble. Oh, Faceless Haven. There we go. If we try to Blood on the Snow... We only have 2 mascot exhibitions, so there's nothing great to go... Actually, we could just go get the thing that makes 2 creatures, though. Tokens, which is kind of funny. But I also don't know what else they're going to play here to try to kill us. More Emirates, maybe? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if they did that, they would need to still draw a land to not die to our Faceless Haven, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could Blood on the Snow. We could Mascot Exhibition. I'm gonna just Blood on the Snow here. And I think I want to look at their hand. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to take this. And just say, you know what? We're going to make a couple of smaller threats, and you just got to deal with what you got to deal with. Ah, it was a power word kill. Okay, then. Fair enough. We would have lost the same thing either way. I don't have a Planeswalker over there, do I? Nope, I do not. Okay. Then I guess... just take this. I mean, that's as good of a threat as anything. Sadly, we can't sacrifice anything else here, so we have to wait. Fantastic. Let's go with this. And we know it's going to die. Like, that's kind of the whole purpose here. They don't know we have double Faceless Haven to back it up. Alright. Alright. Now you got 2 1/1s you got to deal with, and you're at 2. And a Faceless Haven. And if they just use Shadow's Verdict here, we get 2 cards. Alright. Got there. Alright, I'll keep it. This feels like a interesting hand. Probably another mono green. Prosperous Innkeeper. Do I care that they have a Prosperous Innkeeper? Probably not. Whoa. Well, okay. Hmm. All right. Mostly because I feel like I can race the rest of that. I don't know. Trying to justify to myself why we want to do this. We really need a land now, though. This is gonna start getting sketchy. The only good news is we can attack for enough that we can offset them doing anything. And keep them away from cards, which is nice. We're gonna attack. This sucks to use Professor right here because I need to go get a land, but it's the right play. Also, them using a land for that slowed down the Onyx a little bit, which is nice. Though, we'll be possibly hitting next turn. I mean, I was going to say, if you were attacking with Innkeeper before, I guess you're attacking with Innkeeper here. Yeah, the good news is we have a couple of Vanishing Verses, so we're not that concerned. Well, that's nifty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we don't really care. We get hit big once with the Vorinclex, but we probably don't care if that were to happen. But we can also just go get the land and do what we're supposed to do and be responsible. Yeah. So I can see that being a thing. So they can either... Oh, another elixir. That's annoying. That's very annoying. Okay, well, that'll help later. Alright, attack for 3. And what would I rather not deal with? Onyx or Vorinclex is the question. I'm assuming... Man, opponent's wild. I don't know if it really matters here, honestly. So I'm just going to go with Professor Onyx because it's more likely to remove a creature. And this at least makes sure, like, if they decide to go Vorinclex, cool. Excellent. That's exactly what we wanted to happen. Because people get greedy. They want to try to Vorinclex into a Professor. I would have just played a Binding of the Old Gods and killed off one of these to keep their life total trucking, but that's just me. Attack for 6. We're going to go ahead and play this. I'm going to go ahead with that. Mostly because I want to just outrace these elixirs. If the opponent plays a Binding of the Old Gods here, we'll use Deadly Disputes. If they do anything else, well, we'll see. Well, I expect them to play the other Binding. It sucks now knowing they have a second one. Yeah, auto pay. We'll sacrifice that. Ooh. Well, now we have an Onyx. How you like that? Now you got something else you got to target. Actually, that's interesting. I don't even know if we play our Onyx here. I'm in a little bit of a conundrum. One, two, three. We could attack and still leave 4 mana up. But that doesn't really do much. I mean, other than maybe we want to sack something and kill something with Vanishing Verse. But maybe we do. We let that happen. and then we could just play our Onyx afterwards. Because otherwise, we play Onyx, it's just going to die to their binding. And we don't really want that to happen. So let's just go 1, 2, 3. Activate. And we're going to get our attack on. Alright. And they have to tap so much, they're not really going to be able to activate their Faceless Haven. So that's a benefit. Alright. Yep, we kind of have to sack it. Because it's silly not to. Alright, they're going to gain some life, unfortunately. And we're not going to get to attack this turn, because we're going to play our own action cards here. I mean, not to attack with our land. We will be attacking
Under
otherwise.
my tutelage, even you can master death.
Yeah, we'll take that. I might even just play that here.
Impeccable study habits.
That's not true. We know they have Vorinclex and stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we drew a land, we'd be able to do that anyway. So, like, yeah, it's fine. In the turn. Couldn't really risk it, because there's a chance we'd end up giving up Onyx for no good reason. I mean, here they may attack into her anyway with the Faceless Haven, but, like, meh. Is what it is. We'll live with it. The rest of their hand's pretty mediocre without it, so that doesn't really do much.
Liliana Vess? Sorry, haven't heard that name before. Come on, there's gotta be something useful. Ugh.
I mean, we made him lose a life. There's
Now I
that.
have more important things to do.
And we drained them for 2, so it's not the worst thing. Let's go look for a card. Oh. Yeah, that's fine. We'll take that.
Ugh. There has to be an answer here.
Alright. We'll play this one. Actually, no. What are you doing, Arena? Stop that. Alright. Then we'll get an exhibition. And we end the turn. Okay. Feel like we're in a pretty reasonable spot now. Because now we can even target our own creature and just drain the opponent for 4 life. So we negate those. So let's see what's up. Deck of many things, sure. They're going to roll 5. We get a card. We will kill that. Opponent's going to go to 10. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And a spell is 9, 10. So that works. Whew. That was a lot. Activate. We'll attack with everything. And then we'll just Deadly Disputes. Getting rid of this little Shambler. Wow. Well, there's really not a lot to say there. The deck is good. No surprise. I expected it to be good going in, and it really was. It kind of checked the boxes we expected. Is it something I would play a lot of? Maybe not, but not particularly because the deck's bad or anything, but just because, I don't know, it's just, it's not really doing anything super exciting for me. It's just solid. And sometimes that's just what you want. You just want something that's solid. You want to spend your cards, credit, wild cards, whatever on it. Makes sense. Would I replace anything? Like I said, I might try to squeeze in that third mascot exhibition into the sideboard. Other than that, I don't know. The list seems pretty tight and pretty solid as it is. I don't know if I'd really want to change much otherwise. So yeah, this is pretty good, and doesn't seem like it has any just terrible matchups. I don't know if it has any particular like huge matchups that it favors, but I think it's just a good solid all around deck. So go for it if you're interested. For today's card spotlight though, we're going to talk about Death Greeter. This is a card that I believe came out in Shards of Alara originally, and it's had maybe one reprint since. But this is the type of card I think if you were really worried about those opponents like to just sweep the board constantly, whatever, in your big commander games, this is one of those fun cards you could throw out there and really wreak some havoc by just letting it do its thing whenever creatures go to the graveyard. So, I don't know, maybe it's one of those cards nobody really pays attention to, and it's not all that expensive if you want to just pick one up and toss it in your deck if you're playing black. Also, don't forget, if you want today's deck list, it will be down in the description below, along with links to so many other things, including my streams over on Facebook Gaming and on Twitch. Or if you want to come by our Discord, all the links are down there for that. And I want to say, if you haven't, please remember to like, subscribe, notify. That stuff means a whole lot. It really does. I know you hear every YouTuber say it, but it really does matter and really helps boost our videos if you're interacting with them. And, you know, leave a comment. Let me know how much you like the videos and how much you appreciate me, because, you know, that helps too. Even if it's just for me. As always, that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.